If you just watched Paul's story, you know Paul fixed his bid process. Now he wins 4 out of 5 jobs. But here's what Paul didn't realize when he started winning more. Winning more jobs doesn't solve the problem. It creates a new one. That's Marcus's story. And if you're book solid, this one's for you. Let's go to the office.
I'm Michael Rodriguez. I've been a solo contractor for 10 years, and now I've created a community called Contractor Money.
Welcome to Marcus's video. In this video, we're going to talk about Marcus, who is fully booked, weeks in advance even, but still behind. Now, in video 1, we talked about Paul and how he fixed his entire business around changing his process through his sales cycle and his presentation with his estimates. And now he's booked. Now, let's see what kind of problem occurs when you have too much. But before I continue, hit subscribe if you'd like to see what's going to come out next, which is the next video in the series. And this is really important because it's about what you do with the money. Now, of course, we all think, okay, you pay bills and put some aside for savings, but there's more to that meets the eye. And I want to make sure you have these techniques to manage your money that I've learned over 10 years of being a contractor. Now, in this video, we're going to go over 3 things. Why more jobs makes it work sometimes, and the automation chain, plus one number that makes all the difference. And, well, stay to the end, and you'll get the third piece. Now, don't skip 1 and 2 to get to the third part of the video. They're all important. Here we go. Meet Marcus. He's a good contractor. He's been in the trades for about 5 years. He's booked out silent. Let's call him directly, okay? He shows up on time. He does good, clean work, and he gets referrals, based on that. And he's also on the good side of town, so there's a lot of work to be done in businesses and in residential homes. Now, that belief that this is all he needs is costing him something, and that is his personal life. 7 a.m. Saturday, imagine it. Maybe you've been here, right? You're at the table or at the desk. You're maybe even in the truck doing another estimate. Your invoices haven't been sent for the previous week. The estimate you went on last Tuesday is stuck in your notes, and you haven't put that into QuickBooks if that's what you're using for developing your estimates. Your invoices are sitting in QuickBooks, and you have to review them before you send them. Follow-ups. You had that estimate from 2 weeks ago. It's a little forgotten. People are like, hey, we sent you some questions. You didn't respond. So he's starting to get a little overwhelmed, a lot overwhelmed. And if anything else falls through the cracks, then, what follows from there, the lack of referrals, people stop recommending you. And they'll leave it in. And the worst thing, his coffee's cold. He's sitting there just focusing in that cup of coffee that's supposed to be so lovely in the morning just to give us some ease. It's not helping. So what are we going to do about it? Well, we know we need to do something about it because an important piece of this puzzle I left out is family. Give me an hour, he says to his daughter, who's going off to soccer practice. He wants to get there. He didn't make it, though. He didn't make it until the second half. And this has happened 5 times already. And his wife, she's like, listen, I thought we were going to get weekends with you. What's going on? I didn't know we'd lose you every weekend. I'm booked solid. He's thinking, making the most money I ever have. And I'm miserable. And my family's starting to become miserable too. So he's great at the tools. And that's what's setting him apart from his competitors. But at the kitchen table, he needs a lot of help. Invoices, we need help with that. Estimates, follow-up, and reviews. He could have had 100 reviews by now. But he's got no mechanism to ask for reviews. He's kind of just talking to people when he remembers, hey, can you leave me a review on Google? And that's impossible. People don't know where to go on Google. You need to send them information. So we're going to help him out with this. Here we go. The work has been good, but the system was non-existent. You cannot out-discipline with so much work a broken system. The estimate from our previous video with Paul is the pitch to get the business. But the system, that wins Saturday back and your sanity. Now, the one number I wanted to tell you about, this is what is important. This information right here. This is a snapshot, and I'll show you the actual tool in a minute, that comes out of Contractor Money, C Money, because everything's a database. and everything's connected. While we connect to QuickBooks, we push invoices in there and other information, we're working with the data that's live and fresh right here to give us a dashboard, what our weekly P&L is. So that's that number on the left, okay? And this is the number that is the week you just finished. So it's Saturday. You're looking at this information, and then the number on the bottom right-hand corner is 1914.94. This is your business net profit that came in after your labor value, which is what you pay yourself with your W-2, your tax. And then you have a mileage reimbursement. So the business is paying you back, and it's usually over what your costs are for your mileage on your vehicle. All right. And so these numbers show you that this is how much value I'm bringing out. I can take out of the company, 1914. This is before tax, the mileage reimbursement. So for you out there who just don't do this, you need to start doing it. I use an app called Mile IQ, which basically once it's turned on, it's on my phone, and it tracks all my travel on my truck. And it knows the mileage where I started from, where I ended. And then all I have to do is kind of look in there and say business, 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 personal, business, personal. And then I have an idea, okay, that's how much mileage that I need to be reimbursed from the company. And there's an easy form inside of C-Money where you just put that number and you'll know, okay, I'm going to get reimbursed when there's enough cash in the company to pay me. And I can track this week by week, month by month. That way I know, okay, come payday, I can pull that money out of the company, and that's legitimate because it's mileage and it's not tax because of the reimbursement. Okay. So that's a part of the calculus that we're using here. Going on to the next slide, we've got two important slides. One on the left, we looked at already, the 1914 is the projected income right before taxes. And then we've got next week where we see some gaps. The overall revenue is projected to be 1920, and then the take home before taxes 1513. Okay, and that's based on work we've booked ahead of time. And how do we have that? Because we have good clients that allow us to book work in the future. And so Marcus here, he's got a couple of weeks of this. He can see visually in the future until here at the end of May, right? So I know I'm going to collect another 1920, but minus that 1500. Okay, that's our goal for the month. We're good. We're going to be able to pay the mortgage and other expenses in the house. So this is a vital tool. I keep it nice and simple. It's on the bottom of the dashboard in the app. And let me show it to you. All right, so we're back in Contractor Money and we're in dark mode here. So we have the upcoming schedule, the AI estimate job generator, which if you haven't seen that, you can go to the Paul and Juan video on the channel. But for this piece right here, we're going to talk about the weekly P&L. So as we hover over each day, we can see where the unpaid is. A lot of this is unpaid work for a property manager this week. And so I see on Friday, and I knew this already, the week before, that Thursday and Friday would be light days. And so I scheduled making this video on the Friday. Now, when I look at some of the detail here that we talked about in the slide, we've got mileage reimbursement, we got business net profit, we got the labor that I pay myself at the paycheck. All right. And then we can decide if this net profit piece stays in the business or if we pay ourselves that as well. And that'll be discussed in another video. So now on next week, I can look ahead. I can see where the work is. I can see if that number looks good, 1920 and 1500 take home. Now for my budget in my house, that works. You might have much higher P&Ls and much higher take home, but the overall idea is the same. We want to know what this number is, 1513. What's our weekly value that we're projecting to make? And that way we can look at what we have here, which is April 27th to May 3rd. Okay, by this time in the end of the month, am I hitting the number I want to hit for my goals? And that's it. I wanted to show you one more piece, which is edit overhead. So I keep everything very easily accessible. I don't want to have all this data kind of hidden inside the menu of the software. That's what I find my competitors have a lot of just tweaking any of the components that they have in their system. I want to keep this as simple as possible because we're solo contractors. Maybe we got one or two, helper employees, and we just need to get information in the system and see it live. Let's go through it for a second. Now, my gas is probably a lot less than yours because I have an electric vehicle, but it's $70 a week. And then the mileage, I'm looking at my previous years. My average mileage for a year is 21,000 miles that I can put into the system. And that'll give me an idea of how much the actual will be once I reimburse me for the actual miles that I had for the month. And you can change this to weekly, monthly, doesn't matter. It's going to calculate it so that you get a weekly number in this report in the background. So the phone, that's obvious. Truck payments, truck insurance, liability, tools, loans you have, software subscriptions. We got about $85. That's okay. And then rent, storage. So that's all based on weekly, monthly. You just tweak it anywhere in here, and it's going to update this number right here. And that's your weekly overhead. And so as I go back and forth to the weeks, that number stays because it's division of the overhead by the month. All right. And if you have a 5-week month, it'll just change. In my case, that would be a little lower. Make sense? Good. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the comments below. Let's move on to the last parts of the video before we go into the real money story, which I've got in the next video. You're going to just, oh man, I'm going to hold off. I'll get you at the end. I'll give you a little hint.
Hey, while I was going through the demo, I thought, why don't we add monthly? Of course, right? Now, I don't, again, want to overload the software with too much information and too many different choices. I think this edition, though, is pretty good, where we need to have the monthly. And so I've got it right in the bottom. So we're seeing April right here, right? And as I showed you before, we have the actual weeks in April, but this is critical, right? We want to see also at a glance how much we're going to be able to pull out of the business come, the end of the month. So I hope that helps as well. And leave any comments of what you'd like to also see me add or take away in the comments below.
Marcus, his week 1 after using this new system, he knows his P&L on Friday is going to be $5,200 in profit. Okay, he must be an electrician or something. Got some big numbers there. The estimates are sent the same day he does the estimate review and walkthrough. The invoices are fired automatically after he finishes the job, and the follow-up is sent itself. Okay, he showed the system to his wife, and she almost cried. She was like, "Wow, this is what I wanted to see, a business that works." My husband, get him back on the weekends. Now, here's where the pitfall came from. He's a couple weeks into it, and he forgets to invoice a small job. It's about $250 for a ceiling fan install. And he's asking his clients, like, "Hey, you didn't send me an invoice." And he said, "What? My system?" I thought, oh, that was that job I took between 4 and 6 p.m. And I just didn't even think about it. Well, you got to tell the system there's a job, right, before you're going to be reminded about it. So what we have is the AI job generator. It'll create a job and an invoice for you, just like it would for the estimate. And right at the end of the job, you can just hit submit. It'll send it right off via email and text to the client if they're not around, or of course, take payment right there. So that's the piece I want to really emphasize. That with Contractor Money, you're going to be able to get through anything quickly. That's my main goal. That's why I built this software. I love Housecall Pro. I've been with them for 8 years, and it's been an integral part of my business. And I'm utilizing a lot of the features they have, a lot of features from Jobber, and I pulled that all into this system because I know what I need as a solo entrepreneur, as a solo business person. And those systems, a broad scope of features for 5, 10, 20 person teams. And they're a little just overwhelming, and they cost a lot of money. So I've kept the price to 1/4 of what it costs you to get those tools, and I don't need to raise it. All right, so looking weeks ahead, now Marcus can do that, right? And he sees there's a thin week on week 3, so maybe he's thinking, oh, that week 4 job, or maybe I'll just spread it across those 2 weeks because that week 4 job was a big number. This looks like it'll, take care of my whole month, and that way I can rest a little bit and be ready for the month after that. So the thin week, this ability to keep our good graces with good clients because they know we do good work and we're available at the job. We're not thinking about the job. We're focusing on our work. We're doing good work. That's really critical to create that referral network, and the reviews just coming in, and it just has a flywheel effect. The last year, using this tool that I created, I have been able to really pull a lot more of my time back. And I think you can do that too. So you don't skip what you can see. And you can see money. I built this for solo contractors like us. There's no credit card needed. Just go to c-money.app. Look at some of the information there if you need some more convincing, and click on that button to start your free trial today. Now, the system, we let the system run your business, and that's what C-Money can do for you while you're on the tools doing what you do best. Now, what do you do with all this net profit, your extra money? Now, right now, of course, we can all find ways to use our money. We can buy a nice little trip, away with the honey, or we can go and buy some parts for a motorcycle. But there's a necessary piece that we have to think about, because these hands, they're not going to be able to work for us forever. And we can try to hire a bunch of people and expand the business, but to me, that's risky compared to making assets work for you. And so in the next video, we're going to talk about paying yourself, future self, not just yourself first, but your future self, right? And retiring with dignity, because you deserve it. And I don't want to see you eating, ramen noodles in your 60s. And I'll give you some solutions to reach these goals like I have in our next video right here.